Hello and welcome to the show. Today on the podcast, we're going to look at a typical scenario that a bunch of us face. That's those of us who are business owners, those of us who are starting out in business, or those of us who are employees in a company, and Oga says, go and handle this event for me. I deputize you, go and represent me, go and represent the firm. So like those of you who are young lawyers, or those of you who are communications professionals, maybe you work in, PR or human resources or something. It's the sort of situation you can find yourself in. You just show up, you get to work, you sit down. As you're checking your email, your guy comes in and says, hey, there's this function. I'm supposed to have attended it. Hilton Hotel, 2 p.m. I can't make it again. So go and represent the department. It's just networking. Go there, talk to so and so, blah, blah, blah. When you come back, brief me. And the Oga leaves. And then you're now scared as the business owner or as the person who has been deputized. Like, what the hell am I going to go and do? Professional networking events. I don't like them. I'm shy. Is my dressing correct? Do I have the right shoes? Is my suit clean? I don't like public attention. I get sweaty in these things. My stomach is now turning. I am anxious. Oh, why is Oga putting me in this situation? I don't like attending these things. I get drained after the show. I'm introverted. I'm the wrong person to send from the department. How am I going to deal with all this wahala? So these are typical issues that people face around networking situations. And even though I've made podcasting episodes about how to deal with this in the past, today we're going to tackle it again from a slightly different perspective, because I might repeat some of the things I've said in the past about how to handle networking situations, but I'm going to go into some of the nitty-gritty and the more personal stuff about how to deal with these sorts of things. Now, some of you might be wondering, where did I get all these scenarios from? It was very easy. I was just chilling on LinkedIn. Somebody put up a post, a couple of people commented. So I'm going to be dealing with specific things that people spoke about and how to get through all of them so that we can get back to using networking events to promote our businesses, to promote our hustle, or to move the agenda forward with, the department. Let's say you work with let's say you're in a company that has a PR department and you're the one that has been deputized by Oga to attend the event. So let's relax and come up with some simple rules, guidelines, principles about how we're going to deal with these sorts of uncomfortable scenarios. So before we continue, let me share a little bit about stuff that I've been listening to on Spotify, so that those of you who want to become men or women of acquired taste, enlightened taste, sophisticated taste, you can broaden your musical palette. So on Spotify, last night I was listening to Rival Sons, and was really, really good stuff. Now, if you like things like Jack White and the Datsuns and the Black Keys, if you like blues rock, heavy guitar riffs and things like that, then Rival Sons, this is definitely something you should check out on Spotify. And if you have not listened to these newer bands at all, but maybe when you were small, you used to hear Popsy play Jimi Hendrix, or you used to hear Popsy play Carlos Santana, all those sorts of things. And Carlos Santana, Jimi Hendrix, those things didn't sound too bad. Then just whip up your Spotify after you're done listening to this episode and look for Rival Sons. Really correct stuff. You can also check out Jack White or the Black Keys, especially the Black Keys. I really love the Black Keys. Or anything in the blues rock genre, basically. Then this morning, before I got on the mic, I was listening to the Rippingtons, and that is also some correct music. But this one is more like what people back in the day used to call cool jazz. So for those of us who are 80s children, that's what they used to call it back then. So I'm not sure what it's called now. And if you grew up watching NTA in the 80s, definitely you have heard of this kind of music. In fact, my sister-in-law, when she hears things like this, she's like, why are you listening to elevator music? I'm like, no, this is not elevator music. Like, it's cool jazz. It's correct stuff. Like, remove your prejudice. So if you like stuff like Spyro Gyra, as in NTA, they played Spyro Gyra Die. Like, you might not even know that you know Spyro Gyra, but if you just try listening to any of their albums, and you hear like, oh, okay, this is the one that NTA used to play at so time and so time. Oh, by the way, NTA is the Nigerian Television Authority. That's for those of you who are not Nigerians listening to the show. Then the band Spyro Gyra, it's spelled the same way, like secondary school when they taught us about Spyro Gyra, so it's spelled the same way. Also Kenny G. So if you like Kenny G, you also like the Rippingtons. So this is mostly instrumental music, guitar, although Kenny G is flute. I think Kenny G is a flute. But it's cool jazz, real, nice stuff. Nice, mellow. You can use it to study for exams or, preparing for work, driving to work, all those sorts of things. So that's what I've been listening to on Spotify. And if you want to become a man or a woman of enlightened and sophisticated taste, you should be listening to this kind of stuff. This is grown folk music. So if you're an 18-year-old listening to the show, it's time to elevate your taste. Not every time I'm at piano and popular music on Nigeria radio. There's a whole lot more. Grow up. You're becoming an adult. Let's listen to some stuff. And for those of you who are 65 and above listening to the show, I checked the stats. Only 3% of you are 65 and above. I'm glad that you guys are here. Don't forget to reach out to me at the end of the show. I'd like to know what you guys think about the show. And I want to know what kind of topics you guys want to hear about in moving your business forward, especially if you're starting a business after 65. I mean, it can be unnerving, but still, reach out to me. I'd like to meet you guys because I'm only meeting the young folks now. So I want to meet those of you who are older. I'd like to know what questions you have and what your concerns are. And I trust that you guys will really, really like the musical stuff that I've been putting out here. Except if you're not a music person. And if you've lived your whole life not listening to music, dear Mr. or dear Madam, 65-year-old listening to the podcast, it's time that you also grow up in an artistic sense and start listening to stuff. All right, now let's get straight down to business. So like I said, the scenario that we're looking at least what I saw on LinkedIn, is this whole thing of business owners don't like to go and do networking. Or people who work in communications department, public relations department, human resources department, even accounting department. They don't like this whole thing where Oga shows up and the Oga says, hey, I'm supposed to be at so event, but I can't make it. Oya, Kunle, I deputize you. Go and attend for me. It's just networking. No problem. Stay there 2 hours. Make sure you talk to chairman this and talk to madam that. When you come back, give me the report. And then the Oga leaves. And then you start sweating. And then you're shy. And you're worrying about public attention. And then your palms start to sweat. And then you feel like pooping. Some people, when they get nervous, they feel like pooping. I happen to be one of those people. And, all kinds of things. So how do we deal with all these issues? So let's go straight into some very practical stuff about how to cope. First off, we have to answer the question, is networking necessary? Because when your guy just barges into the office and gives you this, puts you on this long jump, this unnecessary assignment, you're wondering like, all these things necessary self. Like I'm here, I'm doing my work. The work is the most important thing. Why should I even bother? And the same thing with the business owner. You're thinking, look, I'm here, I'm making my stuff, I'm sewing my clothes, I'm drying my fish, or I'm coding my app. Excuse me. I'm coding my app. I'm doing the most important thing. Do I have to go and hobnob and meet with people and talk and make conversation with people that I don't even want to hang around in the first place? Unfortunately for you, the answer to the question, is networking necessary? The answer is yes. Because it's the easiest way to find people to talk to. People who are even willing to talk to you. Because when it comes to starting your business, let's say you're doing your fintech, right now you're coding your app. The main thing is not about coding the app. The main thing is the person who can do GTM, what you tech people like to call go-to-market. Go-to-market just means sales, or just means letting the world know that, okay, my app is finished, this is what it can do, these are the people that it can help. If you're interested, come and buy. This is how much it costs. Let us talk about onboarding you and this and this and that and that. So that's the most important thing. So if you're in your house or in your office or in your co-working space or whatever, and you guys are coding this app, but you don't have a good go-to-market plan, you don't have a good sales plan, you don't have a good plan for validating the product, that is where people start falling apart. Because you guys remember that Zuckerberg was not the first social network. He was not the only social network. It was just the best executed social network. They had a plan for how to gain traction in the market and how to expand to other markets and things like that. So that's Goku, that's the main thing. So networking is necessary because we need people to talk to, and networking is the place where you find it easiest to get people who want to talk to you. Because let's face it, if you're trying to do this tech thing, you're at home, you're in the office or whatever, you're a nerd. How many people want to listen to a nerd talk about their tech app? Zero. Except your momsy and your popsy, just to encourage you. But if you hear that there's a tech hangout that is happening in Abuja on so and so day, 7:30, whatever, or you're in Lagos, you hear that there's a tech hangout, or you're in Enugu, you hear that there's a tech hangout. That is the easiest place to go and find other nerds that you can talk to who will be interested in hearing about your app. So I hope you guys see how it works. Well, to be honest, it's not as if networking is necessary per se. I'm just saying it's the easiest way that you're going to find people who are even willing to listen to you talk. So in that sense, if you look at it that way, I'll say networking is necessary for the business owner. And so it's also the same thing. If you're the employee, you work in communications department, marketing department, public relations, corporate affairs, human resources, accounting, Oga says go and attend this thing. The reason why Oga is doing that is because the business is not going to make money until you acquire new customers. So let's say you work in corporate affairs department and you're in Zenith Bank. Some of you might wonder, why do I say Zenith Bank? Well, I have no idea. Maybe it's because one of my sisters worked there a long time ago. I don't think they treated her well though, and so I'm angry with Zenith Bank. But anyway, Zenith and Access, they're the first ones that come to my mind. So you work in corporate affairs department, Zenith Bank. So the reason why our guy is saying I deputize you, go there, hobnob, and whatnot, is because for Zenith Bank to make more money, you need to acquire more customers. You need to be in good standing with other stakeholders, stuff like that. And these things are not just going to happen by themselves. They will happen because you guys are putting out stuff on social media, and you guys are doing good PR, being on the news and everything. But also because they're human beings that are going to events and shaking hands and talking to people and building relationships, and that is how the business is going to expand. So, if you're a business owner, it is necessary. If you're the employee, it is necessary. Maybe you feel it's not necessary for you to do it, but it's necessary for the business to do it. And Oga has deputized you, so it's your job. You have to do it. So just get up and do it. Or if you're tired of this kind of rubbish, just resign. That is also an option. I have known people who have said, look, I can't put up with this anymore. I came here because my job is human resources. Human resources means I'm dealing with payroll and salary and this and this and that and that. But Oga keeps sending me on this errand, on that errand. I can't take it anymore. I resign. Excuse me. So that's also an option. So if you're an employee, you don't like these sorts of things, Oga keeps deputizing you, then just resign. Leave the business. But for other people, business owners and employees, we can't run away from these sorts of things. Now, another question we need to tackle, are all networking events, is all networking formal events? Because there's some of you that the problem that you have is that it's formal, that you have to dress up, you bath up, you wear shoe, you put belt, you wear tie, and, you have to make small talk. So some people, that's just their only problem. So let me speak to the business owner now. If that's your only problem, the thing is, all networking events don't have to be formal events. You can network through a variety of means. In fact, for those of you who attend Pentecostal churches, you know of people who come to church just for the sole reason of, this is the right crowd, I will mingle with the right people, I will make the right business connections, and my hustle is going to pay. So, some people go to church for networking. By the way, that's not the main reason why I should be going to church. Well, that's it. Topic for another episode. But yeah, if you're that ilk and you're like, okay, I live in Lekki, we have this church, we have that church. It looks like this is the church that Dangote attends. Okay, no, Dangote is a Muslim. Okay, let me just say Dangote anyway. Assuming Dangote was a Christian. Dangote attends this church. Let me go there, networking. So you can see, networking doesn't have to be at a formal event. It can be at church. Networking can also be done at the level of school PTA. Who are the other parents that have showed up for this meeting, school events, blah, blah, blah. I've been talking about how my son went on a school excursion and how I'm in conversations with the Rapid Broadcasting Network to see how we can put a couple of shows on air. And that's how we came out. My son went for school excursion. The person that hooked up the excursion happened to be a parent in the school, although at the time I didn't realize this or whatever, the whole connection. But by the time I went there and, I had a chat with them, one or two people are fellow parents, you can see that networking is going on around children's school. Then there's morning exercise. In Abuja, different estates. In Lagos, different estates. People are walking, people are strolling. There's networking to be done there. Having conversations with people. You see somebody's face day in, day out. You start a conversation with the person. Me, frankly, I don't like those kind of things. But, my mom is much more personal. She's much more of a relatable person. So when she was here and she used to do her walks in the morning, she actually struck up a conversation with a couple of people. You're strolling, you see somebody, you see the person every day, you just start up a casual conversation. But for me, when I'm doing my workout, I'm doing my workout. I don't want anybody to disturb me. So I don't go to the gym. But if a time comes when I go to the gym and you see me and I'm bench pressing, please do not disturb me. I'm bench pressing. Wait, let the workout finish, then we'll have a conversation. But you can be doing networking at the gym, morning exercise, stuff like that. Some people can also be doing networking at town hall meeting. For those of you who are in communities at the east, where you do these from communities in the east and communities in the midwestern part of the country. So Igbo people, Ishan people, all that thing. Where you do children of Umohia meeting and this and that meeting. That is also networking as well. Who is here? Who are the people in the room? Or okay, I've been meaning to meet Chief so and so, or I've been meaning to meet Lolo so and so. So networking, happen town hall meeting. For those of us who are middle belt people, with this BAM that we have, BAM is like what's it called? Like cooperative, Esusu. People get together, contribute money, things like that. You can do networking at that level as well. And then I hear in Abuja anyway that the Central Mosque is in Abuja. I hear that it's a networking powerhouse. That people don't necessarily go there to pray. I mean, yes, they go there to pray, but you also go there because you will also get to rub shoulders with a DG or with a PAMSEC or with this person or with that person. So networking does not have to be a formal event. So dear business owner, if you're afraid of formal events, these are other avenues that are open to you that you can start networking. Although, I will repeat again, if you're going to church because you want to network, or if you're going to mosque because you want to network, that is not necessarily why you should be there, but it's still an option. So, what about those people who are shy and who don't like attention? I have some good news for you. If you're shy and you don't like the attention, it's no problem. The way to not be burdened by this attention is to deflect. It's simply to focus on the other person and get good at follow-up questions. Oh, hello, what brings you here? What line of business are you in? What did you hope to get out of the conference? How do you know so and so? All these sorts of questions. And get good at follow-up questions. By doing that, you will find that the other person has the burden of carrying the conversation and you don't have to say much. So if you're shy and you don't like attention, this is your solution. Focus on the other person, deflect the conversation, get good at having follow-up questions. Now, even if you're not shy, and even if you love attention, this is still a very good thing to do when you're in a networking situation, because when you're networking, it's not about showing up and being the star and letting everybody know that you graduated first class and you're the best and the brightest and you have the best startup in town or you have the best product or service. The goal is to try and figure out, who is this person that I'm talking to? Who else is in the room? Who is it that it's a good idea to build business relationships with in the future? So when you're networking, that is the primary thing that you're supposed to be doing. You should be trying to figure out, of these hundreds of people in the room, who here is worth building a relationship with in the future. You're not going to know that if you go around talking to everybody. Then I had a 2.5 million naira exit, or, I graduated first class, or my business is the best, or my children graduated first class in British International Academy, and blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to boast and to brag about our accomplishments and our products and our services. But when we're in networking sessions, that is not the main reason why we are here. So if you're shy, deflect attention to the other person, get good at follow-up questions. It will help you know who it is you're talking to and who is worth building a relationship with in the future, one-on-one. In fact, that is the real networking. The real networking is not what goes on during the event. The real networking is what happens after the event. The phone calls that you make after the event, the SMS that you make after the event, the email that you make after the event, the LinkedIn requests, or the following people on Instagram, or going to the person's office, or going to the person's house, or doing meetup later. That is the real networking, not the event. It's also the same thing for those of you who are going to Pentecostal church to network, or PTA, or morning exercise, or town hall meeting, or cooperative, or mosque. It's the same thing. When you jam the DG at the mosque and you guys talk and you exchange business cards and all whatnot, that is not the networking. That is just the initial contact. The networking happens when on Monday you call up DG and say, "Oh, DG, this is Alhaji so and so. We met during Jumat, blah blah blah. I was the guy that was talking about this and this." He says, yes, Alhaji, I remember you." I say, Kai Alhaji, I really enjoyed our conversation. This, that. This thing that you said about this and this and this, I thought about it. It's very, very true. I think you and I, we should sit down later to discuss how we can move this agenda forward. Because if we do like this and we do like this, it will benefit you like this and it will benefit me like this. So Alhaji, how do you see this thing? DG, how do you see this thing? And DG might say, okay, yes, it sounds interesting, but I'm not in town right now. Okay, no problem. When are you coming back? I'm coming back Wednesday next week. Okay, no problem. So how about 2:30? Let me come to your office after prayers. Oh, 2:30 is fine, fantastic. And then you end the call, and then you put it in your diary, 2:30, you're going to go and see DG. So now that is the real networking. That is when the networking begins. So it's not when you and DG bump shoulders in the mosque that you're networking. It's what you do afterwards that is the networking. But then again, I'm going to repeat. For those of you who are going to Pentecostal churches and those of you who are going to mosque because you want to network, that is not the main reason why you should be there. But, podcast episode, that's an episode for another day. Where was I? I was talking about shy people. So shy people, you have no excuse. Deflect, you'll be fine. Deflecting my is even good, even if you love the attention. Even if you have the correct, let's say you got a suit by May Atafo and you paid May Atafo 1.5 for the suit and you can't wait to brag about it. You're looking fly. Or you have the latest dress by Vera Wang and you're wearing Jimmy Choo's and everything and you're looking on point. That's for women. Because I don't know if there's men's shoes for Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy Choo does men's shoes. And I don't even know if Jimmy Choo is reigning now, because I'm not in the event space anymore. But when I was a wedding photographer, those are things that used to reign. Vera Wang was reigning, Jimmy Choo was reigning, but I don't know what's up now. So yeah, you can be looking fly, you can be looking like the best, and you want all attention to be on you. But just for now, deflect, talk about the other person, figure out who they are, what businesses that they're involved in, what are their priorities right now, personal priorities, business priorities. Is by asking those sorts of questions that you now be able to know that, okay, this person is in this line of business, me, I'm in this line of business, so there's an alignment here. I can call this guy later on, or I can call this babe later on, and these are one or two things that we can work on together. So that's the idea. So reflect. Now, what about those of you who are sweaty? The sweat, man, there's nothing we can do about it really. So the main thing is, once you've decided you're going to attend the event, once Oga says, I deputize you, just go and buy deodorant. Enter the toilet, just lube up, as in put the deodorant, just rub it, chap, and then spray perfume. And that's it. Go for the event. That's the only advice that I can give you, really. As you learn to stop being nervous, the sweating will happen less and less. Oh, another thing. When you get sweaty, sometimes because you're nervous. So, you know that alcohol is a very nice lubricant. It helps to take the edge off. Makes you feel all right, makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. So it helps if you get to the venue and then you just start sipping some alcohol. Please, I said sipping some alcohol. I didn't say go and take shots. If you go and start taking Jack Daniel, you're throwing it, you will embarrass yourself. Because if you're featherweight, you go and start vomiting. Or if you're one of those people that alcohol helps you to speak your truth, you now go and start talking about things you're not supposed to talk about. So when I say sip alcohol, I mean sip. So there's this lady that I know. She doesn't really drink alcohol. So what she does is she will go and take a glass of wine. And that glass of wine is the only thing she's holding for the whole evening. So if the event is a 4-hour event, she's just sipping small. Only one glass. But, if you're not featherweight, if you're heavyweight and you can handle yourself, then, go ahead and chug. But I'm just saying, sip small, take the edge off, you get relaxed. Like for me, by the time I have a bit of alcohol, normally I wear glasses, but for some reason, when I take alcohol and I feel all right, I feel happy, my eyesight just becomes clear and I can see the whole room. So I don't need to wear my glasses anymore. So if you're like me, that will help. Then, sweaty armpits. Come early, stand close to the AC. Let the AC blow you small. By the time the AC blow you small, especially if you did the deodorant thing and you've been sipping small alcohol, the sweat should go away. Yes, arrive early before everyone. For those of us who get sweaty and nervous, part of it is the whole thing of you just get thrown into a crowd of people. If you come late, by the time the hall is full and 250 people are there, you already feel as if everybody has eyes on you. So just relax and make sure you come early. Use your deodorant, sip some alcohol, stand next to the AC. AC will cool you down. You won't be sweaty and smelling anymore. Then, since you came early, before everyone else arrived, you won't feel nervous because eyes are not on you. Eyes are on people who are entering the hall. So, excuse me, for those of you who are sweaty and nervous, that's how you're going to handle that situation. Now, let me talk about my people. Those of us who, for us, when we feel nervous, shit will just pack in your belly. You start getting, your tummy starts running. Everybody deals with nerves differently. So there's some of us that's how it happens. The solution is this. You might not like it. But if these kind of things make you nervous, do not eat before the event. It's that simple. If you enter into these kind of situations and then you start thinking, where's the toilet? I want to pee, I want to poo-poo. Then don't eat or drink before the event. It is that simple. Of course, follow these other rules that I gave about showing up, sip small alcohol, stand next to the AC, and all of that. Make sure you come early. Oh, by the way, if you don't eat before coming to the event, please know yourself. Be careful. Some of you can't handle alcohol on an empty stomach. Some of you who take alcohol on an empty stomach, you start to misyan. So just know yourself. If you're that kind of person, then skip the alcohol advice. Maybe show up, stay close to the AC, take a chilled glass of Fanta. It will help cool you down. So don't eat before the event. Don't worry, you won't faint, because during the event, they'll start serving small chops. Small chops are not going to come out from the beginning. Small chops will come after the event has run small, maybe like 15, 20 minutes. At that point, you're a little bit relaxed. So if you eat small chops now, you're not going to start purging immediately. So don't worry. So don't eat anything before the event. Show up, sip small alcohol, stand next to the AC, make sure you come early. Eventually, they'll bring out small chops. You eat a little bit, and then you're not going to faint when you're on the floor. Now, let me talk to those people who say, I prefer to let my work speak for itself. There are some people who say, look, I'm a professional. I don't need to attend all these events. Let my work speak for itself. I'm accredited. I am this. I am published. No problem. Or you say, look, the app is Web3. It is this. It is that. That is the best thing in the world. I prefer the technical specifications of the app to speak for itself. I should not be going and be networking around people. Let my work speak for itself. So if you're that kind of person, let me level with you here. Let me be real honest with you. Unfortunately, nowadays, the media space is crowded. Whether it's TV or whether it's online, the media space is crowded. So it's not realistic to expect that your work will speak for itself and that people will be speaking about you. Let's get real. I mean, who are you in the grand scheme of things? If you've arrived and you're somebody, yeah, sure, no problem. So like Dangote, I mean, it doesn't matter what he does, people will talk about him. But the thing is, you're not Dangote yet. Or let's say Mo Abudu. She's the lady behind Ebony Life TV and all that. So if Mo Abudu does something, people will talk. If she goes for holiday, people will talk. She didn't go for holiday, people will talk. If she does procedure, people will talk. If she doesn't do procedure, people will talk. It's the same thing with Dangote. If he takes loan, people will talk. If he doesn't take loan, people will talk. If he talks in the media, people will talk. If he doesn't talk, people will talk. But you're not there yet. In the grand scheme of things, you're not a big person yet. You've not arrived. The media space is crowded. So your work is not going to speak for itself. You have to speak about your stuff. And then plus, if you want to scale your business, you want to grow your business, this whole thing of letting your work speak for itself is not practical. It's not practical at all. Because yes, one or two people will speak about you, but that's just on a small level. Like if you make this app, and this app is truly the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm your blood brother, of course I'll talk to my friends about it because I'm proud about what my younger brother does. But is that how your business is going to grow? Momsy, Popsy, best friends talking to people. That's not how it works. Or people talking about your stuff in one or two small areas of professional associations. That's not how you're going to grow your business or scale whatever it is that you're working on. It's not practical. So this whole thing of let your work speak for yourself, it doesn't work anymore. This is not 1976 anymore. This is 2024. Or whenever you're listening to this podcast, let's say you're listening in 2030. This is 2030. So that doesn't work anymore. So 1976 is no more. Let your work speak for yourself. It's not going to fly. However, If you say, I will not do networking, I want my work to speak for itself, okay, no problem, don't network. But still, you need to look for other avenues to talk about your work. So make sure you are published in trade journals, or make sure you line up interviews and talk about your stuff on podcasts. Try and do some PR. People get newspaper interviews, TV appearances, radio appearances, those sorts of things. Or maybe start a blog around whatever it is that you tried to do. So I won't force you to network, but I'm just saying that your thing is not going to speak for itself. So look for other avenues to talk about your stuff, please. Then let's see what else. Basically, what I'm just saying is that, look, self-promotion is essential today. But for those of you who, I prefer to let my work speak for itself. Those of you who are professionals, just keep it classy. So if you are a professional communications person, let me see. Anyway, I'm just saying that, in line with your personality and your trade and everything, just keep it classy. Don't make it look as if you're begging for money. But we have to find a classy way to engage in self-promotion. Then, let me see. Okay, people who are drained after the show. Yes, that's a real thing. Because there are people who go for a networking session, and by the time it is done, they're like, I am tired. I'm dead. I'm fagged out. So, this is now for you. For those of you who are completely tired and wasted after the show, the networking event, this is what you do. Call up your boyfriend or your girlfriend. That's for those of you who are not married. Or you should have spoken to your boyfriend or your girlfriend beforehand. Let them know that, hey, babe, I will not be visiting you after this event because these kind of events make me very, very tired. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to be fagged out. I'm going to be tired. So I'm not going to visit you after the event. And then have that conversation. And you'll be fine. Then you go home and then you sleep. So that boyfriend or girlfriend will not disturb you. Or there are some people, because they're tired, they need TLC. They need tender loving care. If that's the case, after the event, call up said boyfriend or girlfriend and say, babe, I just finished the event and man, I'm really tired. I need a cuddle right now. You do house. And then you drive to the house and then you get your cuddle from boyfriend or girlfriend. By the way, for those of you who are not married yet, you shouldn't be going to boyfriend and girlfriend for overnight cuddles. But that is a topic for another episode. So those are people who are drained after the show. For those of you who are married, you should have the conversation with your husband or wife beforehand. Let them know you're going to be tired and you're going to be wasted after the event. So just beg them to arrange the kids for you. So if you're the woman, just beg hubby so that by the time you get back from this networking event, he has bathed the kids and he has put them in bed and the children have eaten. So that way you can go and sleep. If you're the hubby, then make sure you beg wifey so that by the time you come back, she has bathed the children, she has given them food, they've done homework, stuff like that. Then, if you're the hubby and you're coming home from this event, make sure you arrange some small chops so that you can share with your wife that, while I was there, they gave us caramel fried chicken, this, that. I packaged some for you. So, my dearly beloved wife, here's your small chops. If your wifey, it's the same thing. You come, you package the small chops, give it to your husband. That's just to pacify them because of all the stress, for the children or whatnot. So that's what you do if you're married. Then, if events really drain you out, then please go to bed immediately. No Netflix. You've had a really stressful day of networking. Now you've gotten home. If you do Netflix, you say that you actually want to relax. That's not relaxing because once you put on Netflix, you'll be awake for another 3 hours. The networking event finished at 10. You drove home 10:30. You do Netflix 3 hours. So now you're going to sleep like 12:30, 1. And then you have to wake up 5 o'clock to get ready for work. I mean, let's be realistic. You're just giving yourself a lot of stress. So if networking events really drain you out, by the time you get home, go straight to bed. Cut out Netflix. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch Channels News. Just go up. Then, when you wake up tomorrow, the real work begins. Because remember what I said. Networking is not the event itself. Networking is what you do after the event. So when you wake up tomorrow, you drive to the office or you sit down in your home office, you now start calling people. You now start SMSing people. You now start sending out LinkedIn connection requests or following people on Instagram or whatever. Because remember, the whole point of networking is that we are trying to build a business here. Or we're trying to move a certain agenda in the office forward. So if you go there, You stay under AC, you meet new people, you eat nice food, but then you don't do all this work afterwards. Your networking was zero. So please, sleep, rest, wake up tomorrow. That's when the real networking begins. So for back to the example that I gave, you brushed a DG at the mosque. You guys exchange business cards. So tomorrow, pick up the phone, start calling all these people. I met Alhaji this person, I met DG this person, and I met PermSec this person. So tomorrow, start calling said PermSec, DG, sending connection requests or sending email to their PA or whatever. So the real work begins tomorrow after you sleep. Then, let me see. Okay, finally, introverted people, because I noticed that introverted people keep jumping on these kind of posts. So you're introverted. So what? I am introverted as well. Oprah is introverted. Beyonce is introverted. Julia Roberts is introverted. For those of you who are young, you know Julia Roberts, but people say she's fine, but I think she's okay. She acted this movie, Pretty Woman, back when we were kids. Her and Richard Gere, about a businessman that falls in love with a guy. What's the word? Let me just say prostitute. Sorry, forgive me. I don't mean to be that brash, but I can't think of another word. Okay, a commercial sex worker. Yeah, so he fell in love with a commercial sex worker. So it was real popular back when we were kids. So go on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube. Check Pretty Woman. Interesting romantic movie, Cinderella story. Although some women don't like the movie. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Where was I? So what I was saying is Oprah is introverted. Mima, I'm introverted. Beyonce is introverted. Julia Roberts is introverted. Lots of people are introverted. But it's your job. You decided to run a business. So do your job. It's that simple. Or you work for XYZ Corporation and your guy has deputized you. It's your job. Do your job. So you're introverted. Who cares? Apart from that, introverts are actually better at networking and relationship building because extroverts just go and talk about themselves. Talk. You haven't built one single relationship. But an introvert can go there and be quiet and listen and say, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. Stuff like that. Get to know people. Those are the sorts of things. Introverted kinds of behavior are actually better for networking and relationship building. So if you consider yourself an introvert, it actually is a benefit for networking, socializing, building relationships, because you're going to spend lots of time not talking. That gives the other person an opportunity to talk, and that gives you a sense of who is important to build relationships with in the future. So if you're introverted, nobody cares. Do your job. So it's like Oprah. Oprah can't say that, I'm introverted. Like, madam, you own the TV station. Do your job. Julia Roberts cannot say, I'm introverted. Like, you're an actress. If you are introverted, why did you pick acting? They've paid you your money. Do your job. So it's the same thing with you. You've decided to be an entrepreneur. Who cares? Do your job. You work with so and so firm, sorry for you, but do your job. If you don't like it, resign. But as you're doing the job, realize that as an introvert, you are better suited to networking and relationship building than your extrovert colleagues. But we can talk about more about that in a future podcast episode. If you've listened to all these things and you're still scared about networking, no problem. Call me on WhatsApp. Phone number is 080-6466-2140. The country code is +234. Send me a message first, because lots of scammers these days. So send me a message first. We'll definitely talk later. And then you can also message me on LinkedIn. So you can connect by searching for my name. My name is Tavishima Ayede, the host of the show. You just look for my name on the link where you're listening to this episode. Highlight, copy, paste it in LinkedIn. My profile will come up. Then connect and then send me a message. And then we'll be in touch. So hopefully, I've been able to convince you guys and not confuse you guys that networking is not something to be afraid of. But even if you are afraid, because you're shy, because you don't like public attention, because you sweat, or because you feel like pooping, I have given you tactical things that you can do to deal with your sweat, to deal with your body odor, to deal with your tummy rumblings, to deal with your nervousness, and to deal with your shyness. So really, you don't have any excuse. But still, just in case, there's a category of people that I didn't cover in this 40-minute episode. Reach out to me. Let's have a chat. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.